You are using night witches wrong, and I know you're using them wrong because even in like the top 10 of the builder base, people somehow do not know how to actually use night witches correctly. So, in this video, I'm gonna teach you the secret sauce of how night witches are supposed to be used. So first of all, let's kind of go over what the correct army is supposed to be. If you are finding yourself looking at a base and saying, you know what, I have a good idea, and then using this dog shit army, and then you say, alright, how do I attack this base? Well, do I this corner, this, let's do this corner, and you put down all your night witches in one corner, use their abilities, and then you're like, wow, why is this not working better? I thought these guys were supposed to be OP. This is the wrong way to use them. This is like a terrible way to use them. I don't even know how to explain how bad this is. It's equivalent to putting all Electro Dragons just in one spot and then being like, huh, I thought these things were supposed to be good. These are terrible. Yeah, dude, obviously it's not going to work. You put them all in one spot. In fact, you should never have like 6 Night Witches. This should never happen. How do you get this? How does it even happen? I don't get it. At most, you should find yourself with, I don't know, 3 Night Witches. 3 Night Witches is the most you should ever have. But the big question is, what do you do with all the extra space? I mean, you have 3 extra army camps. What hero do you bring? What are you going to do here? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Hi, my name's Asher, and I've played the builder base just way too much. Last season, I finished number 5 in the world. I have 2 number 4 finishes. I'm pretty much an incel who only plays builder base. But this is good, and this is good because I can teach you the dark arts. When you're using night witches, it's important to understand what you're actually trying to do. You're not trying to overwhelm the base with night witches. That's pretty much never gonna work. What you're really trying to do is use the night witches to distract the back end defenses. This only works against a few defenses, which is why sometimes you're gonna have night witches work and you're gonna be like, wow, these are great. And then other times they're not going to work, and you're going to say, wow, these suck. It's not necessarily because they're bad or good, it's because you accidentally prioritized the correct defenses or you didn't. But what are the correct defenses? Well, let's go take a little peek here. This is actually a very easy thing to understand, I hope. Let's go least important to most important. Now, all ground defenses are technically some of the least important because they're really not going to kill any of your bats. The bats are kind of the life force of this whole attack. They are just overwhelming the base and distracting for the battlecopter. Now, you need to make sure these ground defenses don't kill the night witches because, you know, the night witches are what spawn the bats. And we'll get to that later, but for now, let's just say, alright, these don't really matter that much because they're not going to kill my bats. So this leaves you with a handful of defenses, and first we're going to mark off the archer towers because archer towers are single shot, kind of slow shooting towers that are not going to take down a horde of bats by itself. We're going to mark these as green, and where you can pretty much ignore them and they'll figure themselves out. Next we have the air bombs. Now the air bombs, we're getting to a little bit of a, you should really not ignore these scenario because the air bombs do splash damage. So they can take out a horde of bats. Now, they do splash damage very slowly. They do 1 barrel comes out every like 3 seconds or something. So you can ignore them kind of, but they will ruin your attack if you do not have a plan for them. And then lastly, we have the do never ever ignore these defenses. And those are going to be the Expo and the Roaster. These 2 defenses will ruin your life. A divorce would probably do you better than running into these 2 defenses with night witches. Obviously, the Roaster does insane splash damage, and it does, like, a lot of it. It'll just destroy the whole bat army almost instantly, so the Roaster is the most scary. But the Expo does a lot of fast attacks as well, and will also destroy a bat army pretty quickly. So right off the gate here, we have a good priority list. Number 1 is take out these demons from hell. Number 2 is make sure you have this on your to-do list. And yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do, is just take out these 3 defenses and you will succeed. And luckily, a lot of times on bases, the Roaster and the Expo are actually right next to each other, so that's a pretty easy problem to solve. Alright, this is the base we're going to attack. I'm going to explain the plan. These are the important defenses. We already know this. This one is also important, but we're going to kind of ignore it. We need to take down these defenses very badly. To do that, we have a battlecopter and 2 baby dragons, and we just got to think, how do we get a battlecopter to take down all of these defenses? How would that ever happen? It's very simple, actually, because the battlecopter and the baby dragons are just unbelievably strong. We're just going to put battlecopter right here. He's going to tank for the Air Expo, and before he takes damage from this Archer Tower, we're just going to go send in a Baby Dragon onto the Archer Tower. So we're just going to go Baby Dragon right there. That Baby Dragon will take down the Archer Tower and then splash the Air Expo like that beautifully. And then we're going to follow it up with one more baby dragon over here. It's going to splash all this stuff. You'll see. It's going to get great splash damage, and honestly, this is what makes the strategy so broken, is the Battlecopter and the Baby Dragon combination has the capability to take down this much of the base. Once it does that, what more do you need, really, after that? Now, as far as where you're going to put the Night Witches, it's just, you want to make sure you're not putting them in a dumb spot. Usually, you want to put them from the corner so the bats have time to tank for them. So these are really the most logical places to put them, because they're going to follow this L-shaped path. That's really what you're always wanting. If you were to put them here, they're going to go some over here, some over there. That's really inefficient. So by putting them up here, you're going to immediately engage the air bombs. Now, that might sound nice, but it's not really nice. The air bombs are just going to harass your bats and kill them all the way, so it's not really going to help you out when you're trying to take out the Mega Tesla. Additionally, you have to immediately go through a double cannon, and there's the giant cannon that's going to be shooting you the whole time. Alternatively, if you started from over here, you go through the Mega Tesla first, which might sound scarier, but remember, the Mega Tesla gets pretty much instantly tanked for by the bats. You take it down pretty much for free, and then you also don't have to deal with the back-end Mega Tesla. That's better, I promise you. You're just going to put them from the corner. They're going to come, distract everything, and once they start distracting everything, you'll just throw a P.E.K.K.A. somewhere to make sure it tests for traps for them, and then distracts like the giant cannon. But, I mean, it's very easy. They're really just cleanup troops. So check this out. We're going to go Battlecopter, Baby Dragon number 1. It's just going to do its dirty work over there. Notice how we're making sure the Battlecopter is not taking damage from too many different defenses. That would be really dumb if we're like, yeah, sure, Battlecopter, take damage from every single air defense. We're just letting it take damage from 1 or 2. So we're going to wait, Baby Dragon ability now, and then now we got the Battlecopter ability. I'm going to go through the Night Witches right there. We find a random push trap. What in the world is this guy doing? It doesn't really matter, though. It really doesn't matter. See how I told you that the Battlecopter and the Baby Dragons are going to take down half the base? That's just what they do. This is why this strategy is so strong. You just use the Battlecopter, take down half the base, and now all of a sudden the Night Witches, all they have to do is just not die. That's pretty easy. I mean, honestly, Night Witches are one of the more resilient troops in the builder base, and that's really good. I mean, look, we just have, what, a Tesla? I'm just going to use P.E.K.K.A. ability here, take down the Tesla through the wall. I mean, now, look, this is why I said the back-end air bomb is not a big deal. It's not going to attack our Night Witches, and the bats are going to respawn. So we pretty much just instantly crush this base. Still, we have Night Witch abilities available. And stage 2, if you have Night Witch abilities, it's free. This is the only stage you can just spam Night Witches from a corner, and it will actually work. We're just going to put them all down and just align and then wait for it. We want to wait to use their abilities until they're actually going to do something useful. So now we're going to use them, and look, it's just a straight line of destruction. I mean, Night Witches are nuts on stage 2 because you'll notice there are no defenses that do splash damage to air, so the bats just run wild on the base. I mean, we are only getting attacked by firecrackers, which are very, very slow. So yeah, your only real risk of failure is if your opponent has air bombs, which typically never happens. Now, it happened to me earlier today. Ruined the attack. I'm still upset. But it really should never happen. I mean, yeah, look at this. We just spam Night Witches. I could have played it way better, obviously. I just put them in a line, and even still, we're going to completely crush the base. So this is the power of Night Witches. Now, I'm going to jump into some multiplayer attacks and show you proof that these are actually useful attacks. Obviously, I could just sit here friendly challenging myself, but that's honestly not that impressive. All right, first base. Who are we going against? We're going up against Mix. All right, look, just Air Expo, Roaster. Those are our only targets. We literally do not care about anything else in the world right now. To be honest, this base is kind of weird. I really don't know how I'm going to get to these objectives, but it also looks pretty weak if I get to the objectives. So we're just going to start Battlecopter right here. He's going to tank for Archer Tower, and we'll just throw in a Baby Dragon. I mean, this is really nice. We just get to take a little deep breath because the Battlecopter, Baby Dragon working together there is going to be absolutely nuts. Now we'll throw down number 6. The reason I put down number 6 is we are tanking for the Air Expo, so we might as well take advantage of the tanking while we're going to get it. I mean, it'll be just a waste if we just said, oh, you know what, I'll wait. I'll let that Baby Dragon die and then I'll use it. And then, yeah. Now we're just waiting for the right time to use the Battlecopter ability. I usually like to wait until it's going to actually take down a few buildings like this, and then now look at that. We took down half the base once again. We're going to throw down the P.E.K.K.A., and then we're going to put the Night Witches to the side. The only reason I do that is because that lava launcher is kind of pesky, and it's going to do a lot of damage if I let it do damage. But anyway, we are attacking the air bombs straight on, which, as I said, was something I probably don't want to do. That's my bad, but it doesn't really matter because we have so much left alive. So I am going to even use a P.E.K.K.A ability here to damage up those air bombs, just because I want to make sure we get them down pretty quick. And then now look at the bats. The bats are distracting the Mega Tesla. One of the most feared defenses in the game is literally useless because of the bats. And yeah, 2 Night Witch abilities, still have a P.E.K.K.A ability. First attack, it's too easy. I mean, this is a very great example of how this is usually gonna go. I mean, you take down half the base with the Battlecopter and the Baby Dragons, and then the Night Witches just clean up. And then stage 2, we're just gonna use more Night Witches. You don't want to use the Night Witch abilities unless you really have to. So if you kept 2 from the stage 1, always just use more Night Witches, because they're just gonna go ham on stage 2. And the basic idea is just put them all in one spot. It really doesn't matter. We're going to put down P.E.K.K.As just kind of for fun. Battle Machine gets to level 3 ability, so this pretty much is a slam dunk regardless. We're going to just wait on the Night Witch abilities. And we'll use them all now and watch the horde of bats just tear through the base. I mean, this is why Night Witches are broken. It's not because they're super strong stage 1, although they are. It's because stage 2, they do stuff like this, and then within like 10 seconds of activating their abilities, the entire base is gone. And they also are very quick moving. So if you're about to time fail, these bats are going to get from point A to point B pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure they're the second fastest moving thing after the Battlecopter ability. And there we go, first 6-star. Pretty sick, right? We're up against base number 2 here, and once again, Air Expo right next to the roaster. Now, you're always going to want to put your Battlecopter from the corner. It's just the smartest way to do it. If we were to put him from a horizontal angle, like on the laboratory, he's never going to go where you want him to go. So by putting him on the corner, he's going to funnel straight into wherever is in front of him. Whereas if you put him on the horizontal here, he might go all the way to the giant cannon, which is just very out of the way. Look, there's just a random Tesla. Why do you have so many Teslas here? I want the Battlecopter to get his ability onto the giant cannon, which I think he will, and then now we're going to go Baby Dragon onto the roaster. Get both abilities just in combination there to do a lot of free damage. Last Baby Dragon onto the double cannon. And with that out of the way, I think we're going to start both Night Witches from the very bottom. The reason I'm doing that is I kind of want the bats here to tank for our Battlecopter. Although the Battlecopter is, of course, going to go kill himself the opposite direction, as he loves to do. We should be fine here, though. We are going to cross-tank with our P.E.K.K.A like this. That way, we do not take too much unnecessary damage. We're going to... Oh, that was the wrong P.E.K.K.A ability. That was really dumb. We're going to go both Night Witch abilities here, though, just because it is getting a little close. So we're just going to use those abilities. And this is also the thing that makes the Night Witches very strong, is you don't want to use their abilities, but if you have to, it's going to clear out pretty much everything. But by using their abilities, it will make stage 2 a little bit more difficult. It's still going to be pretty easy. So in this scenario, I still have the P.E.K.K.A surviving. So honestly, what I'm going to do here is a little bit interesting. I'm going to use both cannon carts from the corner just like that. That took a little bit of fast timing there with the fingers, but because we got that correctly, we should be able to take down the cannon here. And then we're about to do just a nasty move against this guy. We're just going to take down the multi-mortar immediately. Now to do this, I'm going to make sure we don't run into any random traps. Oh, hello, why are you going there? Luckily, we got the Night Witch here. Again, this is why Night Witches are kind of goated. We are going to have the Night Witch. It can hit over 2 tiles, so if you have a multi-mortar, for example, 2 tiles behind a wall, yes, the Night Witch can attack it, and that is a very, very useful thing. It is the only other troop other than the cannon cart that can actually make that reach. So it is a very, very useful and unique skill that the Night Witch has there. Also, the bats from the Night Witch are very, very useful to try and test for Teslas. We do not end up finding one here, which isn't really that bad. It should be fine. It's just now we got to make sure we do not fail. Night Witches stage 2, even without their ability, are great though, because you can pair them with the battle machine and it's going to work great. You also have the bats being spawned by the Night Witch, so as I said, they're going to very quickly go to all the corner buildings. So I can honestly put one right here. The bats will go take out that corner building, and then the Night Witch will follow in with the battle machine and then get some pretty good value. There's a Tesla, and look, our cannon carts are just right out of range of it. I'm not worried. Cannon carts are taking down the cannon, and this is going to be completely crushed once again, despite using both Night Witch abilities stage 1. We have yet another base here, and look, Air Expo Roaster, always going to be right next to each other against any good base. And this means you can easily abuse that weakness. Once again, we just put the Battlecopter from the corner over there. He's going to fly forward. Now he's in range of the Archer Tower. So what are we going to do? Baby Dragon, we want it to get the ability onto the roaster. That way it hits the Air Expo as well. And then now we're going to go another Baby Dragon. Why did we do it there? It was because, look, we're tanking for the roaster and the Air Expo. You never want to waste a free tank. If it's going to tank for something, you might as well let it. And then at this point, look, the Battlecopter is doing so much work over there. I'm just going to throw a P.E.K.K.A right over here, double Night Witch, and then beautiful. Now these Night Witches are going to work perfectly with the P.E.K.K.A.s here. I want to tank for that double cannon though, so can I get that? Yes, we can. Again, I'm trying to make sure we're not letting one P.E.K.K.A. take all the damage, so that's why I put P.E.K.K.A. number 4 to tank for the double cannon. Watch this P.E.K.K.A. ability too. Going to splash everything over there. Now look, the bats are distracting for the Mega Tesla. The P.E.K.K.A.s are nice and healthy, and we're just going to crush the base once again because the Mega Tesla is nullified, the P.E.K.K.A.s are tanking beautifully, and the Battlecopter stays alive because we are distracting for him with the bats. I mean, it's a very, very symbiotic relationship between all of these troops. Stage 2, once again, we didn't use any Night Witch abilities, so what are we going to do? Just spam them. That's exactly right. We're just going to put 2 P.E.K.K.A.s over here. We're going to even use the P.E.K.K.A. ability just to make sure we're hurting the cannon a little bit more, but look, we are completely fine here, fellas. We have so many Night Witches here that it's pretty much impossible to fail at this point. Now, I am finding air bombs stage 2, which is very rare and kind of annoying because we can't really use all of our Night Witch abilities at once safely, but it's okay. We're just going to use 2 abilities. There's the air bombs. Now we're going to use the other 2, and even if he has 1 more air bomb, I really don't care. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Night Witches are just too strong. That is a little pro gamer move though. If you find 1 air bomb, it usually means there's going to be 2 more. So don't use all of your Night Witch abilities, because if you use all of your Night Witch abilities and then they all die to 1 small mine, that is insanely bad. Here we go, up against another base here. Roaster, Expo, right next to each other. Battlecopter from the corner, always going to be what I'm going to do. As soon as I see that, I see where's the easiest approach to get the Battlecopter into the base. So here, if I put him from the builder hall, he would be in range of the archer tower and the air bomb. We don't want to do that. So by putting him all the way onto the clock tower, he's immediately going to combat both of these buildings, and that's always going to be what I want. So now he is tanking for the Air Expo. We're going to use Baby Dragon ability right there. Honestly, I think I'm going to go Battlecopter ability now just because he's taking a lot of damage and I don't want him to die. We're going to put our last Baby Dragon ability in there and then also go with 2 Night Witches immediately because, again, we want to make sure we are going to be tanking for these. Wow, look at all these push traps. Oh, that's kind of annoying. We are immediately going to be in range of the Lava Launcher with Night Witch number 1, so that is going to be pretty annoying for us. We probably are going to be fine though because Night Witches do have a lot of health. Just let them keep cooking. I'm going to go and put 1 more. I'm going to put the next P.E.K.K.A. right here to hopefully tank for P.E.K.K.A. number 3. As I said, we don't want 1 P.E.K.K.A. taking all the damage. Unfortunately, that is exactly what's going to happen here, but I think we're completely fine because look, the P.E.K.K.A.s are out there testing for traps, tanking for the double cannon, and really that's all that matters to me. We're going to take out the double cannon with Night Witch number 1, and with that, we once again have both Night Witch abilities intact. I mean, this was kind of a shakier attack, especially because there's a lot of air bombs, and also we got hit by a push trap and immediately nearly lost a Night Witch. I messed up the tanking with the P.E.K.K.A. I mean, there was a handful of things that went wrong here, but because this strategy is just so strong, it doesn't matter. We still have 2 Night Witch abilities again, which means we're always just going to spam Night Witches stage 2, although I did not mean to put a Night Witch there, so that is going to be kind of annoying. Why don't we go like this? We'll go another Night Witch there. We'll put the P.E.K.K.A. on the wall to tank for the Night Witch. We'll put the Battle Machine here, double Night Witch ability over here, and I think this guy is Air Bomb stage 2 actually. I think this is the guy that I failed on who had air bombs when I wasn't recording. So we're not going to use our Night Witch abilities all at once here because I really don't know what I would do if I failed. Yep, look, air bomb. There it is. There it is. We got to use Night Witch ability number 8 though, and Night Witch ability number 2 is going to pop automatically regardless. I think we found all the air bombs, and yes, we have. We still have 2 Night Witch abilities to spare, and even though he had some pesky trap stage 2 for me, not cool, Gamden 7. We are completely fine once again. We didn't even use 2 Night Witch abilities, which tells you that if I had used both my Night Witch abilities stage 1, we would still be completely fine. Although I am going to use them now because look at them go. They're going to speed to the corner. Thank you. Okay, my base is nuts, dude. What in the world? And yeah, look, here we go. Once again, we have the Roaster and the Air Expo kind of further apart. This time, the Roaster and Expo are a bit further apart, and I need to make sure I get both of them down. So this is a kind of rare-ish example where I'm actually going to bring in 3 baby dragons, and this just kind of ensures that I have more value possible for my battlecopter. I also know that if I get down and I also, just from experience, know that the Battlecopter has a lot of potential against a base like this, so I'm just going to kind of put down all my baby dragons and see if I can make it happen. We got baby dragon number 6. Baby dragon number 6 should as well splash the Mega Tesla. Oh, this Tesla popped up though, that might be an issue. It does splash the Mega Tesla still though, so we're going to go Battlecopter ability right here. That should take out everything, and then what did I tell you? There's a lot of value available on this base, so I'm honestly, once again, going to try and make sure we are tanking for this air bomb. The air bomb is kind of most important to me because I want my Battlecopter to survive as long as possible. And then now here comes the P.E.K.K.A. to make sure we are tanking for our Night Witches. A lot of times I try and prioritize putting my troops on the corner buildings as much as possible, but with this strategy, because how quickly the Night Witch bats will move through the base, it's not that important to make sure to take down the corner buildings quickly, and you can actually kind of screw yourself by trying to prioritize them. So that's why I left both the corner buildings alive, even though it's technically smart to go for them. And look at all these bombs we found on the outside of the base. Luckily it does not matter, and we are still going to get the base down with both Night Witch abilities intact per usual. I mean, stage 2, I don't know how I could possibly fail this. Yep, we're going to put them right there, but at this point, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 with our Night Witch abilities, and there probably aren't going to be air bomb stage 2, and yeah, we're completely fine. I mean, look at the damage we're doing against the base. I did keep one Night Witch ability just in case we found some air bombs, but even if we did find air bombs, I'm really not sure it would have changed anything. This was completely crushed through and through. We'll go Battle Machine ability there, and let's just use the last Night Witch ability. Why not? Again, like every single base has the Roaster and Expo right next to each other, so we're going to switch back from the 3 baby dragons and then just go straight forward again. Wait for the Battlecopter to tank for the Expo, then here comes the baby dragon. We do find a Tesla, but again, the baby dragon comes and tanks for it, so we're pretty okay. Baby dragon ability number 1 onto the giant cannon, and then we're going to go put baby dragon number 6 all the way over here, and then baby dragon plus Battlecopter onto all this stuff. Should be pretty destructive like that. We want to make sure we tank for this Battlecopter, so we got the Night Witches coming in, although the Battlecopter is going to kill himself immediately, like he does. Oh, that was a bad P.E.K.K.A. number 4. Okay. So we're going to go Baby Dragon number 1. We found a few traps, which are kind of scary, to be honest, but we're just hopefully going to be all right here. Baby Dragon ability number 1. Next Baby Dragon straight onto the Expo. You'll notice I used the P.E.K.K.A. here early. I really wanted... Okay, there we go. I was worried it wasn't going to do it. I was going to say I really wanted the Battlecopter to actually go into the base here, and his ability does. If the Battlecopter ability did not go where it went, we would be in a pretty bad place right now, but luckily it did. The Mega Tesla, per usual, is being distracted by these bats. We're gonna... Oh, okay, we found a few push traps there. That should be alright. Wow, another push trap. That's annoying, but we're gonna go P.E.K.K.A. ability onto the double cannon. We might need to even use a Night Witch ability here. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, we're going to. So we're going to go stagger the abilities because we're attacking air bomb. So we don't want all of our bats to die to the air bomb ability. And yeah, perfect. So this is still crushed. Now, this was the closest attack we've had yet. And it was just because the Battlecopter entry was a very sketchy. And also, I think I honestly shouldn't have put my Night Witches where I put them because they immediately got hammered over there and the Night Witches nearly died. What do you do stage 2 though in this circumstance? We're going to bring in some cannon carts, and let me just look. So honestly, we're going to use the Night Witches to test for traps here. So we're just going to see if we find a Tesla, which we do not, and then we're going to kind of go with an interesting approach, I would say. It's not terrible, but I mean, it works. So we're just going to go like that with the cannon carts, make sure we're pausing them before they're in range. In a perfect world, what we're going to do is put the P.E.K.K.A. to attack this firecracker, and then ability will splash the multi-mortar, and then the cannon cart number 7 will do 2 shots onto the firecracker, which will then in turn take down the multi-mortar. Does that sound like a good plan to you guys? We got the first shot there. There's the second shot. I'll start battle machine from the corner, and then watch this. You ready? Kapow! There goes everything. So that works pretty well. Now we got to take down all this stuff, and we should be all right as long as we don't hit a push trap, which happens very frequently. So this is nice. We still have a Night Witch 2 place down. The battle machine is gonna go not be in range of the double cannon for a second, so we're gonna kind of wait for him to tank for the double cannon before we full send the Night Witch like that, and then now we place down everything. This is a really nice stage 2, to be honest. Very happy with how that went. Battle machine ability, gonna smash out everything with the lightning, and it's over for Mr. Bang Bang. Oh, interesting. The guy switched bases against us. It's the same guy we've been taking down. Look at how many archer towers he has here. This is looking like a scary base. The question I have is, does he understand what I'm trying to do? Did he trap for my Night Witch approach? Now, there's so much air defense here. I'm going to switch to a third baby dragon once again because we got to get through so much of this base. And we're going to start Battlecopter in the corner. No traps yet. I need to splash on the Roaster and the Expo and a lot more. I mean, this base is so compact with air defense, it is going to make it very difficult to take it down, to be honest. If I wasn't recording this video, I probably would not try this strategy, but, you know, we got to do it for the content. Okay, Battlecopter's going to tank for the Air Expo. And once he does, we're going to put down these two baby dragons like that. We're going to wait on their abilities. First ability on baby dragon right there. Second baby, let's go baby dragon ability number 5 like that. Battlecopter ability goes in this. Oh, where did he even come up with the idea to go there? Okay. Baby dragon ability does still work out over there. We should be okay. I kind of put my Night Witch is in a bad place here though, because again, I usually want to tank for this Mega Tesla, and that's just what we didn't do. We did not tank for the Mega Tesla, so that was a bit of a mistake. But I think we're completely fine because we do have the Night Witches working around the base here. We have the bats, and even though this guy tried to change the base against us, unfortunately, he cannot escape the Night Witches. Now, I just want to make sure these bats are going to tank for the P.E.K.K.A. as long as I can. Oh, interesting. He must have thought I was going to go from up here with my Battlecopter. Maybe I will next time just to mess with him. Remember what I said about the Night Witches though? How you're very, very rarely going to time fail with Night Witches because the bats move so quickly? Well, oh look. Look how nice he is. He puts my P.E.K.K.A. right next to his Tesla. Thank you, mister. We're just going to bring in more Night Witches and just ruin his day. Stage 2. Alright, let's just throw them all down. Might as well. Not going to use their abilities quite yet. I'm waiting. Now we use all 3 of their abilities. If he put Air Bomb Stage 2, I will honestly have a lot of respect for him, but he does not. But that would have been pretty funny. I would have been a little upset. But because he didn't, look at the bats sweep through the base once again. Yet another 6-star. Oh my goodness. We are getting so many defenses here. My goodness. If we get a defense here, we will be in Diamond League. And that would be sick. What? He just put his bomber immediately in range of... What? Okay, his battle machine is getting absolutely abused in here. It's over. It's over. We're getting to Diamond League. I already know we got it. This was such a terrible attack. No offense, but this was cheeks. He might not get more than 1 star. Does he get more than 1 star? I would rather he doesn't, but yeah, he's gonna get more than 1 star. And just like that, baby, we have taken Night Witches to the next level. Diamond League, we have made it. So yeah, we are number like 60 in the world, 61. We went up 286 spots. We gained 600 trophies today. Not all with Night Witches, but the last 300 were with Night Witches. Wow. That was amazing. I'm gonna be honest, my defense log definitely clutched up quite a bit. Oh my god. But yeah, I guess this is a good way to stop the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.